Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Anna and I build model boats. Today we are going to talk about the new boat. It's going to be a foiling monohull. Yeah, my final thoughts. Where I started in the early days, and here I am now wanting to build this thing. What is this thing? It's a moth. I was always dreaming about it, and I set my goal to build a foiling moth. With all the balancing issues, with all the control issues, and everything that's included to make this thing happen. And I want to keep you updated and show you around how it's done and what it takes to build a foiling moth. At the moment, I have a flying trimaran. Basically it's a trimaran that's supposed to fly, and I'm working on that as well. So feel free to share some videos and thoughts that you have seen of videos from foiling boats, so I can have a look around the internet and see what other people came up with. For everyone who's not into sailing monohulls or flying moth, this is a short little explanation of how it works. This is the rudder foil, and this is the main foil on the centerboard. We have here a feeder which is touching the water and tries to get contact with the water all the time. We have here an extension and a connection to a little L point, and then a rod pulling and pushing the rear of the tip of the foil. If this point gets higher, so the boat is going down or lower into the water, this feeder gets pushed up and adjusts this angle of the foil. The problem with this moth thing is that it's pretty unstable. That's why many companies came up with other solutions which are more stable, but I like the challenge. This is the problem. The moth view from behind. We have here the T-foil rudder, here's the hull and the sail. On the moth we have here a bar which goes from left to right, and on this bar I want to mount a weight. This sled is supposed to be controlled with this motor and this speed controller. The speed controller will be connected to a normal receiver. Here is a normal gear and a tooth rod, whatever. Write in the comments what the correct English word for this is. So when the motor turns, it moves forward and afterwards. The sled will be using this bearing system. I will add a photo of an updated version, and as you can see, everything is 3D printed, and as soon as I am happy with one design, I will upload them on Thingiverse. The sled will slide on a 90-degree edge on each side of the beam of the crossbar. Here you can see I have added some threaded inserts just with a soldering iron. Because this is no longer used, because it's an outdated version, I thought I can rip out these threaded inserts, but it's virtually impossible. I think I need to heat them up again. Now for the fun part. This is my new radio. As you can see, it's called Paladin. I like how FlySky or FreeSky choose to go with Paladin and jumper. The jumper T12 or T16 was my go-to, but then I found a good one of these P18, and I really liked it, so I got it. I have one problem. I can only choose the model by plane, helicopter, glider. Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. Glider, delta wing, multicopter, or engineering vehicles. There's no sailboat. So I have to come up with a digital way of setting my servos to the correct way, and I don't forget which servo was on which channel. If you have an idea how to do that, please let me know. What I really like though is that I can set plenty of channels for each individual system. So maybe channel 3 could be the main sail, and channel 4 and 2 can differently use the sheeting or the cross beam section. Maybe I can connect those so I have a sheet that is connected to the moving weight and to the boom in direct order without connecting to the hull. This will give me a perfect angle of attack to pull in an efficient way the sails with my trusty little radio. As some of you have seen on my Instagram page, I'm already working on some foils. Here you can see the center foil, which I used carbon fiber to produce. This is the rough shape of the center foil. This is the center dagger board. Here I have a brass bearing, and the whole centerboard is hollow in the rear. This way I can mount here on this stainless rod this centerboard and feed a tube through the centerboard to adjust angle of attack. The profile is relatively thick and flat, and it is still a little flexible, but I have absolutely no torsional stiffness, torsional weakness. So what I'm trying to say is, I have absolutely no torsion when it's get under load, but I have some flex. I can reduce the flex by changing the layup. I will probably, and Mike, you will laugh at this point, shorten these wings by quite a bit. My original idea was to use one of these little NACE 32 flight controller boards to have some gyros on board. I don't know how to set it up, so please let me know if there's someone out there who's able and willing to help me. What I want to achieve is this motor running this gear to drive from left to right. I also have a steering servo and a servo for the main sheet. My main sheet servo is this little thing, which gets a longer arm and probably a pulley. It will look like somewhat like this. Everyone told me it is impossible to sail a Moth with an RC control. Let's find out. I think only on this channel we will find the way to do it, and I think if you're interested, it's definitely worth supporting me by giving a like and subscribing to my channel. If you want more content and more recent updates, go follow my Instagram. I will link in the description. Das Mini 40 GER 52979. Thanks for joining me today, and we will see you in the next video.